Welcome to All the Gear But No Idea, the South Australian fishing podcast hosted by Rhodey and Diz. The boys will share their tall tales of the one that got away, as well as some regular segments they know all you fishing tragics will enjoy.
G'day guys and welcome to episode 128 of All the Gear But No Idea. It's brilliant to be here with you, Rhodey. We've got a huge episode. Of course, we have Ryan Wiedenhofer, the man behind Ryan's Stella Fishing, all the social media, just goodness that you could want in a fishing page. We love it, Rhodey.
We do, Diz, and you went a whole 30 seconds before introducing me then. It was like a full monologue.
It was a bit of a monologue. I was just letting you crack your beer and just letting you get into it, mate. And like I said, we're very much looking forward to having a chat with Ryan a bit later on. We've got lots in the episode today, but first of all, like we always do, let's start off with oranges and lemons, Rhodey. How has your last couple of weeks been?
Dizzy, it has been a good couple of weeks. No fishing for me, which is actually, we'll go straight to my lemon. It was a long weekend. I didn't go fishing. That's not the greatest thing.
Yeah, fair enough.
Normally try and make the most of a long weekend and get out fishing. I went for a run down the beach twice and went to Normanville, looked at the ocean lots, didn't wet a line.
So you were near the ocean.
I was near the ocean.
You just didn't do any fishing.
Yes, near the ocean. Me and George Allen chased some whitebait around the jetty at Normanville.
Oh, mate, you should have seen the amount of whitebait. We were cleaning some crabs down at the beach and there was an absolute cast of thousands of whitebait.
Okay, so you're just going to brag that you went fishing and I didn't. All right, what's your lemon then?
Well, my lemon is going to be that I feel like, and this, I'm not trying to steal your thunder here, but I'll just cut straight to the chase. A tuna hasn't hit our deck yet and I'm a bit flat about it.
Yes, Diz. Well, I'm going to go straight in my orange on that. And my orange is the tuna are here in good numbers.
Yes.
Maybe not like the best numbers we've seen of recent years, but
decent orange.
It seems like a lot of people are getting them. And it feels like, what are we now? Where end of January, it feels like the last 3 or 4 months we've been saying the tuna are coming, the tuna are coming, the tuna are coming.
Yeah.
I'm going to say they're here.
Yeah.
So that's my orange. Tuna season is in the depths. We are in the depths of tuna season.
Good call. Love that, Rhodey. All right, I'll roll that into my orange, which was certainly a couple of good sessions with my dad and Ned out on the boat getting amongst some blue swimmer crabs. It was great fun. Ned was absolutely frothing every time we pulled one in. He was sort of watching over the edge, waiting for them to crawl into the net. The weather was brilliant and it was a really good kid-friendly activity.
Very good, Diz. So 3 generations of Gillespie's crabbing. I've got a couple of questions.
Yeah.
The first one is, has Ned developed your weird crab marron allergy thing you've got going?
Well, we don't think so. He did taste a little bit. Nothing drastic happened. When I was cleaning the crabs, my hands were incredibly itchy afterwards, so I feel like I've still got the bug. But actually, one little funny story about the crabbing was literally after we'd thrown it over on the very first pull, the rope snapped.
Oh.
So we had the pot just sitting on the ground, could literally see 2 or 3 crabs in it.
So did you jump in and get it?
Well, I was literally about to jump in and grab it, and then Dad was like, I'll just rig something up. So we got a big sinker with a because it was actually, we're fishing quite wide on this thing, so it would have been 6 meters of water.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm not sure I would have had the lung capacity to get down there and lift the thing up. So we dropped a big hunk of lead over with a hook and literally dropped it down, and first pull, yanked it up, and there was still 1 crab in it.
You needed one of Savage Tackle's snapper release weights.
That's exactly what I said. I was like, this would have been the perfect scenario for that to happen. But
you might have had to rig it upside down or something though, would you?
Probably, yeah. But anyway, long and short of that is you want to make sure you check your ropes before you put it in, because that was genuinely a case of all the gear but no idea.
And how many crabs did you get?
First session, I think we probably got about a dozen, and then we cooked them up on the first day, gave away to some neighbours. Dad had a couple, Millie had a couple. Then the next day we probably went out and got about 20, 25, something like that.
Very good, Diz. Now, what did you think about the reverse oranges and lemons when oranges Lemons first, oranges second today?
Yeah, it was an interesting take on it. I mean, you've obviously had a bit of a rough couple of weeks if you like to start off with your lemons, but that's all right. We'll learn from it. We'll get better next time. But we should roll into a bit of an update about what's going on with, of course, we're sort of always encouraging people to send photos in, aren't we, Rhodey? Even sort of voice memos if you're feeling really excited.
Yeah, we haven't had a voice memo for a while.
Yes, we haven't. More voice memos, please. But the social media has been pretty good, Rhodey, I think. A bit of Whiting Ceviche. Ben Calvert certainly stood us up in his presentation and the way that it looked on the plate.
Yeah, well, he came up with that idea.
That's why we tried it.
And you did an okay job. I'm sure it tasted fine. Your presentation left a bit to be desired.
Definitely.
And then he just one-upped you and put his picture up and said, thank you, mate, that's okay, but this is how you
I was actually really hoping that we had some mini toasts over there, but we didn't because I feel like they would have gone well with mini toast.
Yes.
And then when Ben put the photo up, I was like, yeah, that's a bloke who knows how to eat ceviche. He's got the mini toasts. Good stuff. All right, Rhodey, what else we got on the socials?
Dizzy, I don't know if you've seen this one. It's an Instagram page. It went a bit nuts. It's called Henry Kirkwood Filmmaking.
Okay.
And I think it was over in, I think it might have been Devon. Is that in the UK?
Yes, I think it is.
And he's a videographer or a photographer or something. And he is sitting there taking photos at the same time as his dad is taking photos on a kayak. And there is massive 100-kilo plus tuna jumping all around his dad.
Yeah, that was
out in his kayak. Or like what? He'd be 50 or 100 meters out.
Yeah, yeah.
And his caption here actually says a 300-kilo projectile.
Ooh.
As in the tuna. I don't know if that's true, but they are big fish. And you can see they're hitting up something that looks a lot like our garfish or a long tom or something like that. I don't know what they have up in those northern hemisphere waters.
Yeah.
But his dad was in amongst a feeding frenzy and he captured this amazing footage. So Henry Kirkwood Filmmaking. Get on him and have a look.
Could you have possibly imagined getting one of them land-based?
Oh, mate, he could have for sure. But, the photos and the videos are really cool.
It was epic, that's for sure. We love that. All right, Rhodey, let's get into the news.
Rhodey and Diz have been searching far and wide to bring you the latest news across all fishing in the state, and we'll give you the rundown on what you need to know.
We're going to start off with another bit of a lemon here, Rhodey, and one that we never really like covering off, but we do like to keep the listeners up to date with what's going on in this sort of department, if you will. And this is a horrible one, Rhodey. This is an illegal snapper haul, a large snapper haul of, everyone knows, we've covered it off, I don't know how many times, that there's a snapper ban on this show. So they knew they were doing the wrong thing.
They certainly did, Diz. So 3 fishermen have been fined almost $4,000, which, as I've said before, that seems a bit cheap for mine. After a routine inspection on the Fleurieu Peninsula revealed they were in possession of 22 illegally caught snapper, Diz. So, interesting. 22 snapper, 20 of which were under the legal limit of 38 centimetres. So, even if you were allowed to catch them, they were still breaking the rules.
Yeah.
And it was revealed the snapper were caught in the waters to the west of Cape Jarvis, where the take and possession of snapper is currently prohibited. Which, even if they did go down south of KI and caught them, which theoretically they could have, it's still illegal to go back to Cape Jarvis.
Yes.
So they broke the law on about 3 fronts, unless you're a charter boat, which if you go and want to fish and Tice will sort you out because he gets that argument put to him regularly.
Yes, he does.
And he's more than ready to go with the rules. So anyway, these 3 blokes done the wrong thing. $4,000 cheap. I reckon throw the book at them.
Yeah, good call. Throw the book at him. Love that, Rhodey. All right, mate, let's get on to the southeast abalone because this is another one that we've covered. So they did detect that abalone virus, the AVG, down in Port Mac, and since then PIRSA have been ramping up their efforts in sort of containing the spread and making sure that people know that they've got to do the right thing and that they want to be making sure that they've cleaned, dried, basically fully protected their gear so that it doesn't spread to other parts
Yeah, it's interesting, Diz, and they're now actually checking that people are doing the right thing, which I didn't think was going to happen.
Yeah, it's interesting. They were doing sort of like roadside stops.
It's almost like a breathalyzer.
Education, spreading the word, checking that people are doing the right thing in the effort, which is clear. I mean, certainly if your livelihood depend on abalone, you'd be wanting to see that, wouldn't you?
Certainly would, Diz. So PIRSA and SA Police were involved in that. So that was over the January school holidays. They stopped 63 vehicles at Nelson and engaged over 100 people at Kingston to raise awareness for those messages that we just talked about, checking, cleaning and drying all your gear to stop the spread of this Abalone Viral Ganglioneuritis.
Well
which has been again found in Port MacDonnell.
Good man. All right, Rody, what else is happening? This is another bit of a story that it just really gets the social media going when you see stingrays left on beaches on our metro coastline, don't they?
Yes, Diz. So a short-tail stingray was caught and left for dead on Tennyson Beach. I think there was actually a hook in its mouth, so it was pretty clear that it was caught recently. It was nearing 2 meters in diameter. It had its tail removed, the barb of its tail removed. And yeah, it comes on the back of those rule changes that we saw recently, Diz.
Yeah.
About rays and sharks and things like that. But look, that probably was illegal and frowned upon and all that anyway. But yeah, that one went a little bit viral on social media too, with a lot of what's the word? Outrage.
Yes.
Is that the word I'm looking for, if I can spit it out?
Yeah. You got there, mate.
And it's another one of those ones where sometimes I just don't think certain sectors of fishing does themselves any favours. Yeah. Like, fine if you want to go and catch sharks and rays, but dumping them on the beach isn't really putting your sort of fishing in a positive light.
Yeah, good call. Good call, Rody. What else do we got, mate?
Diz, we've got a lot of stuff coming up here from RecFish SA. So they've done all these clinics for a long time. I'm going to say, a couple of years it's been going for, Diz?
Yeah, they've done a great job keeping them consistent, engaging with the rec sector and the community and getting more people involved, whether that's women, kids, whatever it is. It's good. We love it.
And they've stepped it up now, Diz. So they are doing the first Reel Women Tuna Clinic. So it's run on Tyson's Want to Fish charters. It's going to be run on the 16th of 17th of February. So you had to get in pretty quickly and email the RecFish program coordinator. So I'm guessing they could have filled up by now. I'm not sure, but it was
It'd be worth a check.
It was running a charter for a bunch of women who want to come out fishing, and it was a subsidised rate of $180 per woman.
Very good.
So good way to get some more females involved in fishing, Diz. And good on RecFish for subsidising that event or that program. And I'm going to say they chipped in a fair bit of money because charters are expensive these days.
Yeah, and I mean, gosh, you're going to have a good day out in the water with Tice. There's no two ways about that.
Very, very good, Diz, and lots more going on at RecFish. So we've talked about a lot of this before. So there's a fish tagging workshop on Saturday the 1st of February. I don't know if we've talked about this next one, the Reel Women RecFish SA surf fishing session at Goolwa Beach on the 15th of February.
Well, I don't think we've covered that.
No, I don't think we have talked about that one.
Good.
There's also a filleting workshop coming up that's on the 1st of February too.
You could probably do yourself a favour and head along to that.
I could show them how it's done.
Loose call.
What do you think? So that's another Reel Women event. And we have spoken about this one, the West Lakes fishing session on the 23rd of February, Sunday morning.
Yes.
And that's a junior anglers one, that one. Mm-hmm. So lots going on with RecFish and promoting fishing to females, kids, etc.
Very good, Rody. Love that, mate. Well done. And we've just got one little bit more of a juicy item before we move along is the Carp Frenzy.
Yes, that one's coming up on the 1st of March, Diz. Is that the long weekend or not?
No, it's not. It's the week before the long weekend.
That sounds right.
The long weekend, I think, is the 8th. So maybe 8th, 9th, 10th or something.
$3,000 first prize, $1,500 second prize, third prize $500. Plenty of other prizes, including weekend getaways, kayaks, fishing gear, fishing charters. It costs $25 for an adult to enter, $15 for a child. Obviously, it's up there at Lake Bonnie in Barmera. And I did see here that RecFish SA members also going to an additional competition and will be in the running for a Shimano Saragossa 10,000.
How good.
And that's a good prize.
That's a very good prize.
They're
very good.
Very good reels.
Very good reels.
They'd have to be value for money, just about the best sort of tuna reel you can get.
Yep. It's no surprise you see them on quite a few charter operators. They're just tough as nails and they go the length.
All right, Diz, that's a pretty good wrap on the news.
Well done, mate. Love that. Good from you. Let's get into the tackle item of the week.
Now it's time for Rody and Diz to really show you what it means to have all the gear with a lot of idea as they review a tackle item of the week.
All right, Rody, we've got a little bit of an interesting one here for you all for the tackle item of the week. One that we haven't personally used, but we certainly look forward to using it in the future, we hope, because we love being out off wide, getting into the deep water stuff. It's good fun. But we are talking today about the Sharkbanz Fishing Zeppelin, which is the world's first shark deterrent tackle item. Brody, tell me what you know.
Well, Diz, I don't know. I don't know a lot. You've come to me with this one, and I'm just Googling it, and it looks like a wristband to me.
No, mate. You're looking at the wrong thing, you pelican. This is the Sharkbanz Zeppelin is basically like a sinker-shaped device. It actually does look like a mini fender, but it weighs 185 grams and can actually be used as a sinker.
Oh, yeah, okay, I've got it up now.
I think the whole idea of this is, as I said at the top, it is a shark deterrent tackle item. So when you're out fishing and you think you might be getting into some big fish that there's a potential for sharks to come and bite off, or, you know, sometimes that gets them going in a feeding frenzy and then you need to move on to different areas and that sort of thing to stop fish just getting absolutely smashed by sharks as they get hooked. This you drop down, or as I said, you use it as a sinker, and it prevents the sharks from coming up and attacking the fish. It doesn't deter the fish though.
Interesting, Diz. So in my defence, this company did initially do wristbands.
They do also do wristbands.
And now they've spun off into fishing tackle.
Yes.
And it's interesting. I have actually seen this now, I think about it, used up on like the Great Barrier Reef and in Queensland, where sharks are a big issue.
Yeah.
It also says here on the website that it's endorsed by RecFish West.
Yes.
To help avoid shark bite-off. So it must be sort of taken off a bit in WA. And it also won, interestingly enough, Best Terminal Tackle at the ICAST conference in 2021. So it's been around for a little while.
Yep, it has. And I suspect probably for those that get out wide and do this sort of fishing regularly, and sometimes they may have had a day's fun ruined by just constantly going from drop to drop where sharks might ruin a bit of the fun. So good little piece of tackle to consider if that's the type of fishing you're into.
And it weighs 185 grams, so it's sort of around that 6 ounces. So it's about what we would commonly use for our fishing here, Diz.
Yep.
And I suppose there's no reason why you couldn't add additional weight as well.
Yeah, that's right. And I think probably the thing for mine would be, you know, at I think circa about $100. If you lose a couple of them, you're probably going to be saying you had a pretty bad day. So
yeah, definitely.
You'd want to be pretty careful if you are using it as a sinker, per se.
It says to position the device so it will sit 45 to 90 centimetres below the tail of the target fish species.
Yes.
So I suppose you run like a paternoster rig with that at the very bottom.
Yeah. It'd be interesting whether some people use them just sort of to put in the general area, and then they might just do their usual jigging or bait fishing and that sort of thing and try and deter them.
It does say it only deters them 1 to 2 metres.
Yeah.
So I suppose you really do have to have it pretty close to your bait.
You run the risk.
Interesting though, Diz. I know they use them in Queensland. We've seen they use them in WA. Interested if anyone locally is using one.
Good call, Reddy. Love that. Hit us up if you are. Maybe even send us in a voice memo. Not a bad little
We would
tackle
love
item.
that. Yeah, actually, that's one of the better ones you've come up with lately.
It's not a bad one. It's a little bit unique.
You must have been deep in the algorithm of social media to find that one.
I don't know where I came across that one. It could have, I don't know, something I was looking at. Yeah, you just never know, mate. Sometimes you wind up so deep in that stuff, you don't even know how you got there.
All right, Dizzy, that's enough dribble out of your mouth. Let's get Ryan Wiedenhofer. He is the man behind Ryan Stella Fishing on Instagram, on YouTube, all your socials. Let's get him on.
Now it's time to get our guest on the line. We will ask them the all-important 5 questions, then chat all things fishing in SA.
All right, Diz, we are joined here now by Ryan Wiedenhofer. He's the man behind the Ryan Stella Fishing page on the socials. Ryan, welcome to the show.
Cheers for having me, fellas. Good to be here.
Awesome, mate. Thank you for coming, like we said, and we are very much looking forward to having a chat with you about all the fishing that you get up to. We love your socials, and we can't wait to get stuck into that. But first of all, Rody, let's whip through the 5 questions. So, Ryan, tell us about your best fish.
Best fish would probably have to be a throwback to a couple of years ago, where me and my best mate, Jack Jacobs, which I think you might have had him on the show before, actually, Aussie fisher.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, we did too. Yeah.
Yeah, him and Chazza, I think you might have had on the show.
Yeah, we did. We had them both.
Yeah, but we actually planned a trip to a tropical island up in Queensland, and we got dropped off on an island for a week, and not much food or anything. We sort of just got dropped off there, bought tents and stuff from Kmart. It was pretty epic. And yeah, we just fished hard for a week. I reckon about halfway through the trip, one of the afternoons, we were just fishing off this ledge, and yeah, I hooked a pretty big fish. After a solid fight, we got it in, and it was a $1.66 Spanish mackerel.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so $1.66 off the ledge, and the fish was so big that we actually physically couldn't take it back to camp, which was about a 2K walk back. So it unfortunately died in the fight because people listening probably know that Spanish mackerel don't have the best survival rate once you do land them. So yeah, we had to actually wave down a boat, and we swam it out to the boat, and then they transported it for us back to the main beach where we were camping. So
That might be the most epic story we've had of best fish, I reckon.
It's certainly got the most detail.
That's epic.
$1.66 Spano, it was pretty epic, and yeah, probably one that's going to be hard to beat, I think.
Very good. We're happy with that, Ryan. Now tell us your favourite thing about fishing.
Probably just, to be honest, I do a lot of fishing where I don't actually catch a real lot. And for me, it's more just getting outdoors and doing exploring and going out on the boat, going to the islands, and yeah, just spending quality time with mates. Catch fish, it's a bonus, but yeah, I just like getting out there, to be honest.
Yeah, love that. It's always a bit of a bonus when you can get out there. So we love that, mate. Now tell us your first fishing memory, or what got you into it.
This one's a good one. Actually, my old man got me into it when I was a young tacker, and yeah, the first ever sort of thing that got me hooked was actually not fish, but it was tadpoles. We used to go down to the local creek and yeah, just net tadpoles, and used to take them home and watch them grow up to be a frog.
You've gone from one of the best fishing stories to one of the most humble first thing about fishing stories.
Yeah,
It's not even a bloody fish.
I know, but yeah, it just got me hooked.
It's an amphibian.
Yeah, that's
How's my science knowledge going?
Yeah, better than mine, obviously.
All right, Ryan, what is your favourite sort of fishing and why?
Probably, I really like getting offshore, just because the variety of fish you can catch, and it's the whole getting your live baits and all that sort of thing. I really enjoy that. Sometimes getting live baits is the hardest part.
Yeah.
But yeah, just doing the whole offshore jigging and deep water fishing, I really enjoy that.
Epic, mate. Now, this last question's a funny fishing story or one that got away. And if it's anything like telling us about your best fish, I'm bloody strapped in for this one. I reckon it'll be good.
Yeah, this one, I've thought about this one very well. And I come to one that I think it's probably a winner. So me and my mate, Wes, we did a trip to New Zealand. And we, at the time, we were like we were nuffies. And we just packed the rods in like a PVC rod tube.
Yep.
And it was a massive rod tube. We got to Auckland Airport and we were carting this thing through the airport. And my mate Wes was going up is it the excavators or whatever? Or escalator?
Yeah.
The little block ones that go up in blocks and you stand on them.
Yeah.
And he was at the front. There was a lady in between us and I was at the back. And he was holding this tube. And as he got near the top of the excavators, the tube got stuck in between the roof and the excavators, and it went through the gyprock roof. And the lady in between us just got showered in gyprock all through her hair. I was at the back just pissing myself. I was like, "Oh, how's this for the start of the trip?" And so that sort of made the trip pretty funny. And we legged it and got out there and left a massive hole in Auckland Airport. So
that's gold.
You've left your mark on Auckland. That's good. We like that.
Yeah, and then caught kingies after, so it was good.
How good. Put a hole in their bloody airport roof and smashed a few kingies over there for them while you were there.
That's it. So that's probably one of my funniest. Wasn't really fishing, but I was on the way to a fishing trip.
Yeah, epic, mate. Now we love that. All right, mate. Thanks for answering those 5 questions. Let's get stuck into some of the fishing that you've been up to. As we said earlier in this piece, we love all of the social media work that you get up to, mate. Tell us some of the highlights of some of your trips you've been doing recently, mate. What have you been up to?
I've been doing a little bit of offshore fishing with the Jackknife boys, which has been really enjoyable. Getting a few really nice Kingston sandboys, and they're really good value to go fishing with. But that's probably what I've been doing most lately. Heaps of whiting fishing. Been getting some good ones like up in low 50s sort of thing. So,
good fish.
Yeah, getting out in the boat a heap as much as I can. We've had some pretty good weather recently, which the last couple summers down on the peninsula, it's just been windy so we haven't had probably as many good days as we've been getting recently. Yeah, so just doing a lot of boat fishing and getting some good fish.
Beautiful. Now, Ryan, you do a lot of your fishing down the bottom of York Peninsula, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct, mate. Yeah, so I've got a place in Marion Bay and, I do a lot of fishing down that way, yeah.
And you head off to sort of Althorpes and all those islands, Wedge and that sort of thing. Is that the plan normally?
Yeah, get out there as much as I can, when the weather permits, yeah. Yep.
Beautiful. And I'm looking through your socials. You've sort of ticked off all of the target species down there: kingfish, tuna, Samson, nanagai, blue groper. You've sort of done it all. Is there any of them that's your favourite to target down Yorks?
Oh, yeah, probably. I really enjoy catching kingies, but they are a lot of hard work, and it's taken quite some time to sort of hone in on them. And obviously they're a seasonal thing. But yeah, I really do enjoy the tuna when they come through as well. We've had a couple of sessions there where they've just been like footy field size. Schools come through top water, and you pretty much just cast anything at them and they'll eat it.
Yeah, and what about Samson fish versus kingfish? What goes harder in your opinion?
To be honest with you, I haven't caught many sambos. To be completely honest with you, I've only ever caught one sambo, and that was a metre 45.
Oh, that'd go hard.
I got very lucky there, and that went very hard, but it did come up a bit top heavy. Like it was almost like a big wet sock when it stopped fighting.
Mm.
But I'd probably have to go kingy size for size. Kingies just. They just go so hard and they just don't stop. They'll just keep going right up to the boat. So, yeah, kingies definitely, I reckon.
Yeah, epic, mate. We love that. Now, for a couple of blokes like us that occasionally get down to the bottom end when sort of work and family and the weather lines up, it's just such a lovely area to explore, and if you pull up the nav charts, there's bloody lumps and bumps and shit everywhere down there that you just love to explore. Can you tell us, for someone like yourself who's probably done a lot more fishing down there than us, what's the next frontier? What are you sort of hoping to crack the code on down there?
Oh, that's a good question. I'd love to get a really big fish land-based down there, whether that's like a 10-foot bronzy or a big king, or even a tuna land-based. There's been a bit of talks of that.
Yep.
That's probably the next frontier in terms of, something that hasn't been done a real lot. That's sort of what I'd love to do, is a pelagic or something off the stones down there. That'd be epic.
Beautiful. And what about the last few years? There's been some pretty good fishing on the big barrel-sized tuna. Have you got into that?
I have got into that. I did probably about 6 or 7 trips last season, and it ended in heartbreak. Me and my mate actually did hook up to one, and we fought it for about 2 to 3 hours. And it was a very strange fight. And it sort of, at the end of it, felt like you almost hooked on the bottom. It just wouldn't budge. Mind you, we were using pretty light spin gear, so that didn't help.
I was going to say, were you using a whiting rod by any chance?
Yeah, I was using the Tinger rod. We did lose it, and that sort of is where we've left it at. But I'm very excited this year for them to roll through again. I think it will be a good season. So, and
everyone's got their theories on these barrel tuna. Do you reckon they've been there forever and no one's known, or you reckon they're growing in numbers? You think they'll be back bigger and better this year? Any theories on them?
Oh, to be honest, I think it's one of those things that they could have been there for a long time maybe. But I also think it's one of those things more so that just changes all the time. Even with the school tuna, like we've had a couple bad seasons the last few seasons where they've come through really late, or there hasn't been as many numbers. So I think it could just be one of those things that just, if they're there, they're there. They're not sort of thing.
And you talk about the tuna season being a bit odd and a bit different all the time. We were down there a couple of weeks ago and didn't see any signs of any tuna. Yep. It seems to have been a bit of a slower start to the year. Is that what you've been finding?
Yeah, I reckon you're probably right. I remember last year we were getting them like very early January, and there was quite a few of them. But I personally haven't seen a tuna down there at all yet this year. So, but I think it is definitely a bit of a later season, which is strange because the water at the moment down there is very warm for this time of year. So, so as I said, tuna are one of those things that just they show up when they want to show up. They're hard fish to hone in on.
Yeah, that's for sure. Very good. Now, mate, tell us, what do you like to fish out of most? Do you like getting out on the boat, getting out with the boys from Jackknife, like you said, land-based, or do you just take it whatever the weather and the sort of conditions are doing, you'll play to that?
Yeah, I am very lucky. I get a bit of time off work, so I do get to sort of go out when I please. But I really do enjoy just getting out on the boat for a couple hour session, and when there's a change in the weather and it glasses off, I really love those sessions, and I think that's when the fish bite quite well, is when you can get out. And yeah, I just love going out in the boat during that sort of weather change when the weather glasses off, and not going too far and getting stuck into a few fish. That's probably my favourite ideal little session.
Beautiful. And tell us, Ryan, you've got your own boat, and then as you said, you also fish with the Jackknife guys on their Stabicraft a bit as well. Is that right? Yeah,
I do. Yeah, I'm lucky to be really good mates with those fellas, and they're very good fishers, and I go out with them. But I also have my own boat. Well, Dad actually leaves his boat down there, so I get to use it.
So tell us about your boat.
Yeah, it's a 5.3 metre Yaltcraft with a 130 Yami on the back, a saltwater series. Fiberglass boat, and it rides quite nice, and it's capable to sort of do everything, fish for whiting, and then you can go out and get out to wedge and all sorts in it on a good day. So it's good. So lucky in that department.
Beautiful. And you touched on the whiting fishing and some of those sort of things. That's one of the things we do love about your Instagram page. You get all the, the kingfish and the Samson and all those ones that people want to target, but you also get plenty of flathead and squid and whiting in close. You love a bit of all sorts of fishing by the sounds?
Yeah, I love a bit of everything. I'm definitely someone that I don't mind. If I'm catching a tommy or a garfish, I'm happy. I really just enjoy all sorts of fishing. But yeah, I do really enjoy my flathead fishing on soft plastics as well. That's something the last couple of years that I've really got stuck into. I think that's probably because my mate Jack as well, he froths on that, and he sort of got me into that more. Just flicking soft plastics along the beach is a really enjoyable thing because you don't know what you're going to catch. So love doing that. Beautiful.
And a bit of diving for craze as well. Is that hooker or scuba, or what do you do for that?
We dive on the hooker unit. That's a lot of fun. Can be a bit scary sometimes, as you boys can probably imagine.
Good spot for at the bottom end of Yorks anyway.
Yeah, it is a very good spot. We got a really good variety down there, and there's some good reef along the bottom there. And we've had quite a few sessions where we've got some nice craze. So yeah, we're very blessed down there.
And you said it can be a bit scary. Any shark encounters?
It blows my mind because I've hooked so many sharks off the beach, but I've never seen one diving. The only shark I've seen is I've dived into a cave once and seen a big wobbegong. That's. As far as sharks go, that's the only shark I've seen diving. So yeah, we haven't bumped into any yet. I'm sure there's been some there, but yeah, we've been lucky enough to haven't seen any. So
very good. Let's keep it that way. And mate, you've been a fantastic guest. We've been salivating at some of the catches that you've been doing over your socials and everything you've been up to. And we can't wait to see what's next. So thanks for joining us and sharing a bit about what you get up to, Ryan. And we'll hopefully see you on the water down there one day.
Yeah, thanks, fellas. You're always welcome. And, I appreciate you having me on the show. And, good luck with your guys fishing over the next couple of months.
Beautiful. Thanks, Ryan.
No worries. See you, fellas.
Geez, that was good to chat to Ryan. It's always good to hear people getting out and about, especially down the bottom end. We love that.
It is good, Diz, and I suppose we were often Althorpes and those areas that he fishes recently, so it is good to, I suppose, compare notes to people that do similar things to yourself.
Good call. Love that, Rody. All right, mate, that was a good guest chat with Ryan. Let's get into the fishing report.
Rody and Diz have been out on the water to bring you the news about where they're biting. Now it's time for the fishing report.
Righto, Rody, give us the lowdown on the Kingston Southeast Surf Fishing Contest.
Dizzy, this was held, when was it?
A couple of weekends ago, I reckon.
And it's predominantly on the Coorong?
Yes, it is. It is. They have quite a large stretch of area that you're allowed to fish for that comp.
And amazing prizes.
Brilliant prizes.
Including a tinny.
Yep.
Which, for mine, is pretty impressive as a prize.
Mate, it's epic. It's right up there.
All right, so should we get into the winner, Diz? The winner of the tinny was Damien Little from Mount Gambier with an 8.5 kilo mulloway. Pretty good going there, Diz.
That's a good fish.
Connor Baker from Kingston, 8.28 kilo mulloway. Third place, Landon Panozzo from Goolwa with an 8.070 kilo mulloway. So they were the top three.
Yeah, good fish.
And Dizzy, there were a few other categories which I'm just getting to here. So there were the winning shark was Aaron Saunderson from Cape Jaffa.
Yeah.
7.7 kilo shark, which is good.
Yeah.
And Finn Cameron from Meningie took the junior prize for a 5.925 kilo mulloway.
Oh, that's a good fish, too.
Pretty good going for junior. So they had 680 entries for adults and 126 for juniors for a total of 806 anglers, which is pretty good going.
That is very good going.
Total of 17 mulloway caught, 8 other scale fish, 0 stingrays, which is probably a good thing.
Oh, it's a good thing, yeah. Probably rare, though.
13 sharks and 7 junior fish. So 45 fish caught between 806 people. So not the most action-packed competition in the States. But to be fair, you don't go, I reckon the competition runs over 2 days. So it might be, 24 to 36 hours of fishing, say.
And surf fishing, particularly in that part, I could be showing that I really do have no idea here, but it's generally not one of those places where you go down and say, yeah, I got 10 fish.
Yeah, and it's also actually, I'm looking, it runs from 2 p.m. Saturday to 9 a.m. Sunday, so it's less than 24 hours.
Yeah.
And most people who do treat that sort of fishing really seriously on the beach, they go for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, that's right. They might get into a hot session where they get to a 3.
So it's it's a different sort of fishing. It's not like catching 25 fish on a boat.
Yeah.
But it's a great type of fishing, and it's something we should do more of, Diz.
Yep, I agree, Rody. Good shout.
Maybe we'll enter next year.
Oh, there you go.
You reckon we get past the families?
Oh, we'll give it a red hot crack.
What about we go down to
Ned be old enough to go by then? Probably.
Yeah, they love it.
Yeah. No, that's good. Let's put it in the book.
All right, let's do it. We could take out the juniors prize. Do they have to actually pull it in themselves? Or?
Well, I'm sure there's probably some rules on that. We'll cross that when we get to it. All right, Rody, what else we got in the fishing report? I'm seeing a little bit of the tiny cod do the round on some of the socials, which is probably a pleasing sight to see, I think.
Dizzy, this is certainly not the biggest fish we will cover in our fishing report, but this was a catch from Dylan Nichols at the Aroona Dam, and it's been shared on Facebook. It's got a little bit of traction. He caught a 15-centimetre cod at the Aroona Dam, and the talk is that shows that there is self-sustaining population of cod in that particular dam.
Happy days.
That's pretty amazing, Diz, because I don't think – I know RecFish SA has been doing that project around the cod pods and things like that, and they've shown that it's got some potential for breeding and things like that, but at 15 centimetres, I think they're saying that's smaller than any of the cod are stocked at.
Yeah.
So putting 2 and 2 together, there's some sort of breeding going on.
Yep, good call, Reddy. Love that. All right, mate. In other news, in our fishing report, we have – a very unique catch on Balgowan Fishing Charters. Another guest who's previously been on our show, and what a wonderful guest they were. I won't hazard a guess on what number episode, but you'll find it in the back catalogues.
Oh, look, I'll have a flick through while you're talking, you Diz.
So this fish was caught by one of the people on that lovely charter that we were talking about, and it was a tailor.
Yeah, Diz, they're a WA species, am I correct?
Yes, yep, that's right. Caught in WA. They got a mixed bag, and it was posted on the Balgowan Fishing Charter Instagram page that it was Leanne and Peter's family trip, and they were having a great day out, and they got stuck into that, like we said, very rare freak of nature catching a tailor.
I've certainly never caught one. I know they are from WA. It looks a bit like a salmon, would you say?
Yeah, it does. It does look a bit. It looks a bit like a salmon. But
could you tell me that it's a salmon and a queenfish crossed?
Yeah, I could see
like
that.
It's sort of narrower, I reckon, from what I've seen on various.
It's got a similar sort of bill and face to a queenie.
Yeah, I reckon it's a queenie crossed with a salmon. If I fish, and some of those programs have taught me anything.
Yep, well done. I think
I've found it
for all you listeners out there, if you really want to know what it looks like, just a quick Google will do the trick. But if you want to envisage what a salmon crossed with a queenfish looks like, then that's probably not a bad way to describe a tailor.
I know I listen to like a lot of sort of AM talkback radio, but you know when old blokes start describing something on the radio and you're like, mate, we can't see what you're doing. We can't see what you're looking at.
Yeah, it's almost like, have you forgotten that you're on radio?
It's exactly what we're doing here. But anyway, I think we've done a pretty good job. And I have dug back. Tim Golding from Balgowan Fishing Charters was episode 15. Diz.
Well played, Brody. I thought it would have been right back in the back catalogues. It's probably time we got Tim back on the show.
We could. Now, Diz, you've been fishing on the weekend. Whiting, crabs, squid. Tell us how you went.
Yeah, so we got out. We got the boat in on Saturday, and then Ned just.
So hold on, you went fishing with your old man. He couldn't put the boat in ready for you.
Oh, I know. That's what I thought. But
it's a bit rich, Davo.
It was a bit rich, but no, we got over there, got the boat in the water early on Saturday, and then Ned just started frothing off. He was ready to go. We thought to ourselves it was a little bit bumpy to probably go too far and wide, so we said we'll go out and get some crabs. And I sort of wasn't sure as we were going out whether he was going to sort of lose interest. because I wasn't sure there was going to be lots of crabs and whether there was going to be much action happening, but we just sort of plonked ourselves in one spot, which we don't traditionally do. We normally drive between the pots, but we just plonked ourselves on a white hole.
So this is the Michelangelakis method.
This is the
No
Michelangelakis.
moving, just sit there and let them come to you.
Yep, and we threw it over, and sure enough, within about 5 or 10 minutes of soaking them, we just started pulling them in one by one. Every pull, we had one at least. Got a couple of doublers.
Was Ned scared by them?
The first one that came over when it started rattling around on the ground, you could sort of see he was a bit not sure about him.
Jumping up on the chair, getting his feet out of the way?
He was sort of, getting out of the way, but then all of a sudden he just started warming to him. Then he wanted to hold him. Then he wanted to touch him. Then he wanted to kiss him. It was just all on for young and old then, and he was frothing off it.
Very good. So you got him hooked?
Yep, got him hooked, and then basically from that moment onwards, the only thing he talked about all weekend was wanting to go crabbing.
Oh, well, we haven't really taken Lil crabbing. She goes like picking those hermit crab things up off the beach, and she loves coming back from the beach, having done a bit of rock pooling. Nah, just going nip, 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 nip,
Nip, nip.
She'll come up and she'll pinch and she'll go nip, nip.
Yeah, I think I think we might have thought about going crabbing, or we might have even taken the kids out crabbing very early on.
Yeah, I think they were too young to know what was going on.
Far too young to know what's going on, but no, it was good. I mean, Ned consumed probably about 37 different types of snacks.
Loves
sort
a
of
snack,
one
Ned.
crab, one snack. Kept going back up the front, getting another snack out, which was good. Did a little bit of fishing in between, pulled a few trumpeters over. So, no, it was good.
All right, and then you dropped Ned off and you got into some serious
Dropped
stuff,
Ned
did
off,
you?
went back. Yeah, we just were under a fair bit of time pressure there. We only sort of treated ourselves to an hour and really got stuck into him in a big way. Got onto the tings right away, got our limit.
You got the bag limit.
Got the bag, got home.
Good size or?
Yeah, there was a mixture. We probably threw back maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Probably I'm not going to say there was any horses in there.
Nah, no 40s.
Nah, I wouldn't have say there'd be some 40s. There probably would have been some good 38s.
Yeah.
But there weren't any real horses. So that was good. But, we weren't fishing for a very long time. Lots of boats out on the water and that sort of thing. So we got back in and got stuck into cooking and cleaning the crabs, which kept Ned entertained, and just had a great weekend all round.
And any squid?
One
squid.
Yeah. Did a few drifts, but nah, no good.
All right,
We're on
so-
a bit of time pressure on the squidding front too, but I think it'd been a bit blowy throughout the week. It was a
Murky.
little bit murky there, but having said that, it was very clear while we were crabbing. So maybe it was just bad squidding performance on our part.
All right, there is Dizzy's wrap up from the York Peninsula fishing over the long weekend. The other one we need to talk on is the tuna Diz.
Yes, we do. So, there's been some good catches. Certainly a lot of the charters are getting stuck into them in a big way.
Yep. Although you've seen a lot of questions on those tuna fishing pages saying, I went out and I did no good. I trolled a long way, I couldn't find them.
Yeah.
It seems like it's a bit of a 50-50 sort of game at the moment.
Yeah.
Having not been out there myself, but, following the word of what's been going around, it sounds like that Tunks sort of Deep Creek area is where people are having some luck.
Yeah.
Around there, plus maybe your deeper offshore waters.
Yeah.
If you're looking at your Fleurieu Peninsula. So that's where I'd be heading. So you can get to that sort of spot. It's almost halfway between Cape Jarvis and Victor, isn't it, really?
Yeah, I think so. Probably a bit of a muchness, whether you go around from either ramp.
And York's getting a few?
Well, I've seen a few, but
certainly Reef Encounters has been.
Reef Encounters has been getting them. I think they've been doing very well, which is no great surprise. They love it. And, probably the only other sort of side of it was we were down there, what was that, 3 weeks ago now? 4 weeks? 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, 3 weekends ago.
3 weekends ago. Really didn't see them. Didn't have any joy there. Had a great day on the water though, but it won't be too long, and I'm sure they'll be thick. I've heard they're real thick over on Link.
Yeah, you want me to tell you where they're not thick? Elliston.
Oh, yeah, didn't see any?
Yeah, Jack and his brother and old man went out and went a long way offshore and didn't get any, or I believe see any. Wow. This is second-hand information. I haven't
Did they get many fish at all?
No, they didn't.
Ooh.
They went a long way for one
Wow.
whiting. Did get 13 cray.
Yeah.
Over 2 nights.
Probably would have been some pretty epic diving, you reckon?
Yeah, I imagine. Probably some people might not have liked the sharky aspect of that sort of waters.
Do you think you sort of just jump in, get your craze, get out?
I don't know, mate. It probably wouldn't have bothered me too much, but I think it didn't bother them at all.
Yeah.
I think lots of others it would have bothered a lot.
A lot.
I think it's quite sharky out on an island.
What were the partners of all three people sort of thinking on that mission?
I think the partners of those three have given up.
So yeah, they've given up. They've sort of
Just let them have it.
just let them go. Let them do their thing.
Anyway, no fish.
Good
No fish
stuff.
off Elliston by the sounds.
Yeah, fair enough. Interesting. No, good
Or,
stuff.
or amateur fishermen. You can, choose your own
Categorise them
ending.
however you want. Very good. All right, Rody. Well, all the listeners know where to find us. We're across all the socials. Get around us. Send us in a voice memo. Tune in on the socials. And we certainly can't wait to chat to you next episode.
See you guys.
Rody and Diz hope you enjoyed today's episode of All the Gear But No Idea. Keep up to date by liking and sharing us on Facebook and Instagram. And you can subscribe on all the major podcast platforms. Until next time, good luck fishing.